And here is a commission for a very long time client, and I'm very familiar with this character. And I don't even really need to look at his face. That's how familiar I am with him. And which I love. I love when that develops. And I think at first when I was drawing just the head, I was just scribbling. I didn't know what I was gonna do, but then suddenly I thought, hey, I haven't shown him angry. No, I think I have, but uh, anger, like rage, just popped into my head. I was like, let's do rage, and I know I want it at a bird's eye view, and so usually um, bird's eye view. I think I like bird's eye view better than mouse eye view, and I really only switch it um, when just to change the pace, because every sketch I do can't be the same angle. That's what was boring for I think for like a year with my streams before I started with the dynamic angles again, and because I used to do them every so often, but not as much to the extent I do now. And before I started back up again, more um, heavier. Uh, it was just my angles were pretty plain, and it's funny. That's when I know it's time to change, when I'm getting bored and I see like the same thing. It just seems to just be the same, and that's just boring. And plus, I'm glad that I've started doing the dynamic angles much more, because it's actually been bringing in more clients, which I need right now because of business plans, prospects, blah blah blah. So don't want to get into all that, but yeah, I love drawing Rage, and I really love his eye here and his mouth. And I think even though I do think his eyes are too high, um, yeah, I think they should have been lower, maybe. But he does have a long nose. See, sometimes, most of the time with anatomy and angles and face, I just go with what looks right to me. And sometimes it's still a bit off, and that's just because it's a sketch, and I can't spend too much time on things. So but in pro I can actually take the time to see how it may look, maybe like take like 10 minutes to like research or something. But so mostly it's just at the top of my head and just going with what I feel looks right at the moment. And I I tried to practice a little of the musculature habit I've been wanting in my pieces lately, and still fall short. Um, like the how the pectoral wraps like underneath the that muscle that makes up the that covers the shoulder joint. It's like right there. It's like the delicious one, and God, I forget the name. The only one that I remember is the trapeze, and I only remember that one because it's one of my favorites, especially in males. It's like so pronounced, and very rarely you can see it pronounced in female. And I think that's just like some of the male. I think it's largely in males for the most part. Like mostly, and women mostly women have to take their time. They have to take they have to train much harder to form it. But some women just have it, and I think, and I just saw it recently in a woman. Like her body shape was very. It was like a masculine build, like a testosterone build. Where it's mostly in men, and that's how I gauge what the body forms. In that, like, do I see it mostly in this gender or the other gender? And the genders do differ in that respect, in that some are more prone to be in this like nice hips, usually with females, and but men can have it too. It's just not as often. And with him, he's very leaf. Even though the reference is Toonie, um, I know the client is down with me doing it my style, and that's what I always. Sometimes I do worry if a client is aware that I won't be copying. I won't be doing like a tune style. It like you know I'll just be working with my style, right? Sometimes I get that feeling for some reason. I doubt that the client is aware, but thankfully, I just ignore that feeling and I assume my clients are smart and know that everything I say in the information is just as it says, and I trust them to want my work. So, um, but I see. Another. I do want to show his ribs more a little for some reason. Um, I could always see where I could improve with stream sketches for the most part. Oh, and a reason, one of the things that I know I have trouble with a bird's eye view is when it's an anthro, with the feet are long like that. It always looks goofy in this angle with me, and I've been trying to improve that. It still looks a bit goofy here, but it's one of the things I want to improve at. Like I swear, I need to take one of my cats and make them stand up and take a picture. Maybe the skinnier one. I'll make them stand, and so I can have like a reference. But yeah. So I just so what I try to do to compensate me not being up to my own standards with that angle, with that foot in this angle. I try to do like a little bit lower bird's eye. And oh, one of the things I do love about bird's eye, I love, and it's just so satisfying when I know I make the head too small, and then right when I'm about to finish, I go back and change it to make it fit, and it's satisfying to see like, yep, like it like slides into place like a puzzle, and it's like I save it for last just for that satisfying feeling of saying, "Yep, it looks good like this." And they also ordered, as you can see, full shading, and I decided on this kind of front and a little bit to the side. Sometimes I don't really have a clear light source. I just go with a possible light source, like as long as it looks right. That's my goal with everything. I don't. I try not to have a exact. What's that word? I don't. I try to not to have an exact thought in mind, like to match. So I try not to match my exact thought. I just go with what would look best. And and I wanted the. And sometimes I have these ideas. Um, it takes so much longer, but I just have to do it. Because, especially when this was a vid, so this was one of the first ones I did. So I had the energy to actually put in the extra mile. And so that's why you see him kind of shorter in the shade. And I thought it would be like imposing to have him like this. It just seemed right. And sometimes a lot of my ideas just seem right at the time. But sometimes I just don't have the time or energy to go through with the full idea. And that's usually with letter pieces. And the main thing with all sketch, no matter how late I do it, is the quality. As long as the quality is up to my standards, I'm good. But in terms of like my ideas, they come a lot. They could be a lot more involved the earlier I do them. And so with this, it's the extra shading. Because usually I don't do backgrounds with streams. It's just that's just extra work. And I know I just wanted him like angry about to eat or kill something. No. Oh, the idea was that he was looking at birds, and this character hates birds. So I thought it would be cool if he was looking up at birds, like he's about to fight or flight. and, and I thought it would be cool to make his eyes sparkle. So I was like, hey, I haven't done that before or in a long time or something. So I added that because I haven't done it in a while. And plus, I thought it would be cool to have those animal shiny eyes and be a little bit exaggerate with them. But yeah, he's looking up at birds and he hates birds. So he's about to like fight or flight with them. And and I also added like a little foreground thing. It should be coming up. And just cause it seemed like it fit and I didn't really like the legs, so sometimes I like compensate by covering up what I don't like and making it work. So that's what I did here. And actually, I forgot his tattoo, but this was Feedback Rain. So technically, I don't have to do anything, but I went back and added the tattoo. And Feedback Rain, I took advantage and made it redesigned the tattoo. But hope they like it. Bye.